Hey there. Hope you're having a good day. It is nice to see you, even though I really don't see you. And I hope that you are enjoying our videos. Today's video is going to focus on the Portofino Bay Hotel at Universal Studios, Florida. Florida right now is a lot warmer than where we are. It's quite cold and sort of miserable and gray outside. So it is nice to reflect on a month ago and how nice it was to visit Florida for a bit. So this video is just going to quickly cover what it was like to stay at Portofino Bay. I again am not going to include any pictures or any maps. If you would like something like that, I can do that for you. Just leave a comment below and I would be more than happy to do that. Really, today's focus is just going to be on the accessibility of the room. We have individuals in my family that on occasion need the use of a cane or a wheelchair, and how Portofino Bay was in a situation like that. So, first, I will say that the hotel is beautiful. This was our first time going to Universal Studios Florida, and if we lived closer, I most definitely would stay in this hotel again. It was absolutely stunning. The theming of it was great. It is quite large, and we found ourselves getting lost a little bit. I know that sounds weird because we have stayed in large hotels before, but the way the hotel is set up, it's like a little town, and pictures do not do it justice. Even video doesn't do it justice. I watched some lovely vloggers that did a great job, and I was like, oh, it's pretty, but when you get there, oh my goodness, it is stunning. And you do feel like you're in Europe. I mean, I assume that's how you would feel if you were in Europe. I've never been to Europe. Maybe someday we'll go to Europe. Don't know. But this hotel was super cool. So 2 thumbs up for the theming, just the whole vibe of the hotel. It was very family friendly, quiet, but the pool was kid friendly. My daughter, there were other kids there, and she had fun playing. They had games there. There was a nice pool bar, so nice atmosphere all around. It was a little crazy at night. People came out and sang on this balcony. They sang opera. Again, very cool. I'm not kind of a stuffy, pretentious person, and I was like, wow. Yet at the same point, there were moments where I was like, maybe this is a little too fancy for me, but it wasn't. It was good. All right. So just so you're aware when you're looking at the pictures, I thought they didn't do the place justice. It was beautiful. Our room was huge. And what I mean by huge is like you go into the room and the ceilings are insane. I don't know. I think they're 12-foot ceilings. I don't know. They're like my husband's about 6 foot, 6'1", and these ceilings were not 8-foot ceilings. These ceilings, I feel like he could stand on his own shoulders, or at least I could stand on his shoulders, and I'm kind of short. And it was pretty impressive. The rooms themselves, the beds and stuff are standard, nothing crazy fancy. But the reason I'm covering this part is because many times in a hotel room, there are issues with fitting a wheelchair in the room, especially in the case like ours where my family members don't necessarily need the wheelchair all the time. It's just if their condition flares up or acts up, we might need to rent one. We don't bring one with us when we travel. There's no need for that. And again, this is for us. We have a very interesting kind of situation. But I have noticed that many of the hotel rooms that we go in, there's not a lot of room. And if you have 4 people in the room and then you're trying to fit a wheelchair in there, especially an electric one, it's not happening. You have to put it in the hallway. You're not supposed to put it in the hallway. And usually people don't give you problems, but they could. In this case, there was room in the room. Now, I don't know if it was just our room and we lucked out. I don't know if every single standard garden view room, that's what we had this situation, but you would go into the bathroom and legitimately you could lay down on, I mean, we didn't, but you could lay down on the floor in the bathroom and not touch the toilet, not touch anything. Like, the bathroom was huge. Now, that being said, the bathroom was not handicap accessible. There was not a roll-in shower. So, if you are a family with special needs, in the case of you need something that you can just roll into or just shuffle your feet into, you would need to request a special room. However, if you're like us, where it's more the walking in the park or can cause a flare up or something of that nature, then a standard room is awesome. It was perfect, absolutely perfect. Um, I will say again, the doorways were, I lean towards standard size. So again, if you have a wide chair, you may not be able to fit it in there, but I could be wrong about that. I didn't really, in my head, think about, because I know the electric chairs, some of them are quite wide, but a standard chair, no issue. So that being said, I was quite pleased. I actually, if I were to compare, and that's not what this video is, but I'm going to tell you right now, if I were to compare that room, which I will say Portofino Bay is the most expensive hotel to stay at Universal. We were originally not planning on staying there because that was a lot of money, but then we went into wanting their express passes and how those are included, and then the more economical hotels that include them were booked up solid. So we ended up at Portofino Bay, which worked out great. I will also say that I can't compare it to like the Caribbean Beach Resort, because Caribbean Beach Resort is not the high-end Disney. This is the high-end Universal. So you got to kind of compare apples to apples, right? So that being said, the room was amazing. Absolutely amazing. There was a boat dock. They do have like a little ramp that you can bring your chair up into. You don't have to step down. Normally when you get on their transportation, their boats, if you get on and then you go to the left, and there's like, I think, 2 steps down and then seats. If you have accessibility issues, if you have accessibility issues, then you don't have to go left, you go right, and you sit right up in front with the captain, and it's that easy. They also sometimes have people with strollers up there as well, so that is an option. Just so you know, if you're listening to this and you have a stroller situation. But yeah, it was lovely. The hotel itself is a little tricky when requesting a room. So when you get dropped off, you'll be right on the same like level as the lobby check-in. Now, in the lobby, there are stairs that go down about 2 flights. There is an elevator. So know that you will have to take that elevator up to the lobby if you're using a chair. The elevator was fine. It was roomy enough. Most rooms have have a distance to go from the lobby. We were off in a wing off near the Starbucks. We had a garden view, and we requested about, I think, a month before. We called up and requested a first floor room because of our mobility issues. Also, a lot of the first floor rooms, not garden view rooms usually, but a lot of the first floor rooms have flat patios. That's really nice, especially again, just to have some privacy to yourself. But that was not why we requested it. We wanted something where we weren't going to have to go up and down elevators constantly, do stairs. If you do ground floor, or if you request it, like I said, you call up. You actually call the hotel directly. You explain to them your concerns. They write it down, and then they give you a room that is conducive to your needs, which was wonderful. They said no problem, no issue. We did have to wait quite a while to get it when we showed up. But again, we were traveling during Thanksgiving, and that is a busy time. So we were given a room on the first floor. On the first floor, also, there is a Starbucks coffee, a gelato stand. I think it's a, I'm not even trying to say what it's called, but it's a gelato stand, so you can get your gelato. You can get Starbucks, and then they also have like a quick service place that's on the same floor, and it's all there at ground level on first floor. So if you are having mobility issues, again, there are restaurants on the first floor. You don't need to worry. It was just wonderful, absolutely wonderful. So their pool is one of those zero entry pools that you can kind of just walk into. Um, they have a splash pad too. So if you're someone that's more your jam, they do have that. And then you don't have to walk in to the parks. You can take the boat into the parks. If you're uncomfortable taking the boat into the parks, then there is a walking path. So there's both. We did both. The day that we ended up using the wheelchair was a mess, and I'm covering that in another video. But just to briefly tell you, when you rent a chair from either Islands of Adventure or Universal Studios, you can't take them out to the boats and be guaranteed to get your deposit back. So we had quite the situation getting back to the hotel. And but that is for another day. So just know the hotel itself is awesome. The staff was great. I have nothing negative to say about it. And if you need any more information on accessibility or just pictures of the room, pictures of the actual property, I can definitely share those with you. So thank you very much and have a wonderful night. We'll see you soon.